Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome back to the Right Mentality. On today's episode, we have a very special guest. This is Mr. Michael Fulwiler. I say it right, Michael Fulwiler.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect, perfect. Guys, today's episode, something special for you. But we're gonna let Mr. Michael here introduce himself, tell you a little bit about him, and we're gonna dive into it. So, Michael, tell the people a little bit about you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for having me on. Um, I spent the first 8.5 years of my career running marketing for the Gottman Institute, which is the leading relationship health and wellness company in the country. And I've spent the last 2 years working as a marketing advisor and consultant to mental health tech companies as well as mental health professionals. So I've really built my career as a professional marketer in the mental health industry.
Nice, nice, man. Listen, appreciate you for everything that you do because, hey, mental health in today's field, I think it's just so broad and, you could just reach so many people doing anything in the mental health field. So, good people, like I said, welcome back. Today's episode, who needs therapy? Now, I'm a up and coming therapist, man. Like me hopping into this now, believe me, this is not the easiest field to get into. But believe me, when I say who needs therapy, that question goes to everybody, like every single person on this earth, because I feel like every person on earth needs therapy, but some people feel like they don't. But to ask you, who do you feel needs therapy?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know if I would say that everyone needs therapy. I think that everyone could benefit from therapy. I think that there's, some folks who may not respond to traditional talk therapy, and maybe, meditation or journaling may work better for them. But in general, I think the stigma of therapy is that you see a therapist when something's wrong, right? And I really prefer a more proactive approach to mental health, right? You can think of a therapist as a personal trainer for your mind. And so, you don't have to be in a bad place to go see a therapist. You can actually go see one and be really proactive about your mental health.
Listen, that is so very true. And to sit here and say, like how you said, it's like a what would you say? It is a dang, I got lost, man. Somebody in the gym doing it for you.
Personal trainer.
A personal trainer, yes, for your mind. And like that part right there is something, like you said, not everybody does need therapy, but to sit here and think about how we look at things in life and what we go through, not everybody goes through, some of the things that, people that go to therapy need it for. Like, I mean, hey, some people would just go to therapy just to say, man, I just want somebody to talk to. I just want to vent. Work was a little crazy today. I want to tell somebody a story. Let me just tell you this story. Nothing could be wrong, but let's put it towards the people that actually need the therapy, but yet they say they don't. Now, take me for an example. Now, I went through a divorce a couple of years ago, and at the point I was like, friends was like, nah, man, go to therapy, check it out, see what's going on. Maybe you could figure out some new things in your mind. I don't need therapy. I figured it out myself. Like it's simple. You get divorced, you move on with your life. But at the same time, it's like there were some things in the back of my mind that weren't getting out because I didn't talk about them. Like that's something that's very painful. And a lot of people don't want to think because, of course, as men, society says, don't cry, don't feel that pain, or you can have that pain but hold it in. So for those that feel like they don't need therapy, but they do. What would you kind of say to those type of people?
Yeah, I think that's the message that we receive as men, right? From society, is that pain is weakness, and we shouldn't show our emotions, and we should be strong. And what happens is those emotions just get suppressed, right, and pushed down, and they always come out. And so having a safe space to talk with someone that's not a friend or family member, right, who is more objective, I think is incredibly helpful.
Listen, man, that to suppress all of that, it's like when you ever seen a compressor and somebody you put a car in a car compressor and you just smash it. Like it's fascinating to see, because when you think about it, let's look at it like this. It's fascinating to see something getting smashed and you want to know what's about to happen, how is it going to bust, what's going to come out the car. Treat that as a man, or not just a man, but a person in general. When you compress all that anger, fear, sadness, pain, and it just gets compiled together and it gets smashed all down together, you never know what's going to come out. And to see what does come out on the other side, most of the times is depression, is anxiety, is suicide, homicide, stuff like that. And we try to avoid those types of things. So working in the mental health field, becoming a therapist, those are the kinds of things that we want to avoid, or not to say avoid, because some things are inevitable, but we want to attempt to maybe find coping mechanisms, different ways we can combat the anxiety of just stepping out your front door. Maybe look out the window, as a find different avenues, different ways that we can do different things. Because it's like, to me, man, I have a fear of drowning. So for me, I'm gonna just put my feet in the pool. It's a start, right? It's a start somewhere. But I would always say we got to start somewhere. So just going through that and understanding things. Now, adults and children, of course, that's a very wide aspect there. Would you say children need therapy as well as adults? Or should I say, let's put it like, do you feel children need therapy as intense as adults need therapy?
Hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Like, when should someone start individual therapy? I think if a child has gone through a traumatic experience, something has happened to them, their parents get divorced, I think having therapy as part of their life can only be beneficial. To be honest, I haven't given it much thought, outside of that, as someone who's not a parent yet myself. I'm sure my perspective on that may
Wait a
change,
minute,
but I
you got
think,
a
like,
dog. You got a
yeah, I
dog,
mean,
bro. That's
I think
listen.
maybe,
It
like,
may not look like a baby, but it's a baby.
right. Yeah, that's true. True. I think, like, by the time you get to high school, I think by the time you're a teenager, I think at least, being aware of your mental health, I think, is important, because, so many kids are brought up and they're so sheltered, right, from the outside world. And then they go off to college, like, or go into the workforce, and they're exposed to things that, may be scary for them. And it's different, right? And so I think the earlier that, whether it's therapy or just education about mental health, if we can get that into the schools, and so kids start to learn, about their emotions, how to regulate them, how to have, like, difficult conversations, those basic skills. If those can be taught in school and kids can learn them at a young age, I think that only will benefit society.
I completely agree with that. Me working with kids today, it's like, man, I feel like a lot of children today they feel as if adults haven't been through some of the things that they're going through now. So it's like, well, you can't relate to me. So like when I used to be a juvenile justice officer working in the detention center with the kids, like I would have a lot of kids come up to me or get mad. And I'd be like, man, you ain't never been through what I've been through. I'm gonna tell you like this. I may not have been through exactly what you're going through, but I've been on that spectrum. Okay, I've been in some of the places that you've been. I just got here before you did. So it's. I feel like we have to kind of relate to children and get on their playing field. Like get eye to eye with them to kind of understand. Somebody that may not be in the mental health field, somebody that may not be a therapist, but to just level with a child and get them to understand, listen, man, I hear you. I see what you're going through. Because to me, I feel like a lot of children today aren't being heard in the homes, which makes it seem like, okay, we're not hitting this soon enough. So then it gets to the point where they get in middle school and high school, and the parents are like, oh man, what's going on here? Why you acting like this now? You weren't like this at 10, now you're 15, now you want to act out. And I'm just like, I just want to be your friend. That's my issue right there. That is my issue.
Mm.
Parents want to be friends with their children. Then now the children need therapy because the parents don't want to do the parent job. What did Michael Jackson say? Can't take care of that baby, don't have that baby. So it's like you said, man, we gotta hit it early. And to hit it early, you gotta hit it at childhood, because children do go through things. They go through a lot of stuff. Some stuff they don't even want to talk about because, like I said, they're not heard. So me working with the kids today, it's like they're not heard enough. But like you said, you're not a parent. I have a daughter. And there's some things my daughter may talk to me about. There's some things she may not want to talk to me about. But leading up into the adulthood, I guess, poses the question of, is it okay for a child to go through life and not have that type of therapy in the home as well as in adulthood? Because I mean, you can get 1, 2 therapy sessions and you feel like you're okay, but how do you know you really need it is my question.
Are you asking kids or kind of in general?
I would kind of say, let's put it in general, because I mean, we all have to grow up one day.
Yeah, I think if there's something specific that you want to work on as it relates to your mental health, right? Like you're feeling depressed, you're feeling really anxious, you can't sleep at night. Like there's something that, you want to work on in therapy, then I think that's great. And when I, talk to people about how to find a therapist, I always encourage them to shop around, like because fit is the most important thing with the therapist. The relationship between therapist and client is the greatest predictor of effectiveness, whether that therapy is going to work. And so you may, meet with a few therapists that you just like don't vibe with and they're not a good fit for you. But when you find that person, it's like not that different than dating, right? It's like you find someone you really connect with, you feel safe with,
Yeah.
and you feel like, you're growing towards something. And it's a process. I think people expect like they're going to go to therapy, they're going to feel better. But actually, it's like going to the gym. If you haven't been in a while, like you're going to be really sore, right? Like it's going to probably be worse before it gets better. But
Absolutely.
that there should be that growth. And if you don't feel like you're growing week to week, and it's okay to
Yeah.
just find a new therapist.
Dude, that's perfect. Listen, that's perfect. I use that a lot. You know, people look at you, you go into the gym or you see all the social media posts and you're trying to figure out like, why am I not changing? Why am I still fat? Why am I not gaining weight? It's not gonna happen in a day, ma'am and sir. You know, it takes time. Like, give it time. We gotta process this thing, we gotta get through it. But I feel like, just when not you, but people in general, when you get to that point and it's like, man, I'm about to hit this peak, but I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. It's getting too difficult. It's like right at that moment in that therapy session when you just about to hit that breakthrough, you quit. Like, no, stay in it. Come on, man. Like, but to me, I love to tell my kids when I go see them and talk to them, when I get in that room, Mr. Ryan, I got a story. Oh, come on, talk to me, tell me about it. But when you get that new client and they come in and it's like, I ain't got nothing to talk about. Okay, I tell you what, um, we could sit here and stare at each other until the time is up. It's your choice, but one way or another, eventually you'll start talking to me because, like I said, I feel like not just kids, but people in general, you have to create that safe space for them to understand, okay, look, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. But as my job is for you to understand your own problems, to figure out solutions to your own problems. I'm just here to assist you. So that whole thing, like, man, hold on, man. You got a lot of books behind you, brother. And I feel like so bad because I told myself this year I'm gonna read at least 10 books. So you got like 500 back there. Like, have you read all of those books?
Honestly, no. I would say that's one of
Okay.
my toxic traits is,
Okay.
I order books before I finish the one that I'm reading. I will say I'm completely self-taught as a marketer. And so a lot of the books back there, like marketing and business books, but I also, from my time at Gottman, have a lot of relationship books and therapy books. So
Okay. Because
it's
I was like, man, listen,
a fun
I got
combination.
I got like two in there that I haven't even cracked yet. So let me get on my New Year's resolution. Okay. So all right, man. But look, like I said, look, who needs therapy? To me, we need therapy. We need therapy. Uh it's essential in some parts because now I would, like you said in the beginning, it's not just therapy, it's different types of therapy. It's going to the gym. That's my therapy. If I don't go to the gym, if I don't work out, I feel like, whew, sugar honey iced tea. But when I go, I knock it out, I get it done. But at the same time, it's somebody, like I said, that just needs to vent. Conversational therapy. You just want somebody to talk to. But now, what other forms of therapy are out there? Maybe you could educate me on some types of therapy that I don't know. What other types of therapy are out there?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important to distinguish here between what is therapy and what is therapeutic, right? Because
Yes.
there's a lot of things that are therapeutic, but really like the work of therapy happens with a therapist, right? Someone
Mm-hmm.
who is trained, who's gone to school, who has the license that can help really be your guide, right? And so when you think about, traditional talk therapy, you meeting with the therapist, there's group therapy, right? I know,
Yeah.
especially
Cool.
with men,
Mm-hmm.
men's groups. Um, there's also I've heard more kind of like experiential type approaches to therapy where you
Mm-hmm.
may like go on a walk with your therapist. You're out like you're getting outside. I have a therapist friend who works with couples, and so she does retreats. And so she takes like 4 or 5 couples and
I heard
they
of
go out
that one.
camping and hiking. And so,
I
yeah,
wonder,
getting
I
like out of the
wonder what I
office.
wonder what that is like being in the single world right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Couples retreat. Okay. All right. Nice. Dang, man.
Now, I think now like online therapy
Mhm.
is becoming more and more
Yeah,
common.
very true.
Traditionally you go to your therapist's office and you
Yeah,
sit in a
yeah, that
room, you
is
sit
true.
on a couch, but now like you can do therapy from home.
That is very true. I completely forgot about the online therapy because I know a couple of friends that are therapists, like they live here in North Carolina, but they do therapy in different states because they're licensed in different states. Um, I think that's like one thing I dislike about, being a therapist. You can only practice in one state unless you take the test for each
Right.
state that you're in. But that's another story for another day. But hey, it is what it is. So now being that, you're in the mental health field, working with mental health advocates, mental health people that just, want to be in this field, therapists, psychiatrists, all those types of fancy people. Um, you yourself, do you get therapy?
I do, yeah. I see a therapist weekly, and I feel very privileged in that I've been generally mentally well. I don't struggle with anything in particular, but I look forward to therapy every week. We talk about like why I feel the way that I do about things. It's an opportunity for me to dig deeper about my own goals for my career. Help, it's a space to help make decisions, things like that, which I feel like are um, very valuable. Just so it allows me to really like understand myself better, right? And when I understand myself better, I can show up for other people.
I like that one, man, because I feel like, um, as therapists say, we all need therapists. So I feel like I want to reach deeper parts of my mind that, I haven't even achieved or I haven't even realized was there because as human beings, we don't use the full capacity of our brains. We only use a certain percentage of it. So I want to make sure, just going to therapy, seeing somebody, talking to somebody, even if you don't even have anything to talk about, it's like, well, Mr. Wright, why are you here today? I don't know. I mean, I thought I was good, but now I guess I'm not. Dude at the traffic light before I got here pissed me off, man. Let's talk about that because it's always something behind why you feel the way you feel. So it could have been something else that happened later or earlier in the day as now you mad at the person at the traffic light. So, I would say, to understand myself better so that I can perform better as an individual, as a professional in this mental health field in this world. Um, yeah, I like talking to somebody because I can look in the mirror and talk to myself all day, but I don't know how far I'm gonna get, man.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Yeah.
man.
Like I said earlier, I think you can, think of your mental health as the same as your physical health, right? You
Yeah.
think about it like your mental fitness and
Mhm.
part of your exercise routine. If you're going to the gym, if you're, you know, going on runs, whatever you do for physical activity, you should really be working on your mental health as well.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. That very valuable. Very, very valuable. Hey, people. We got Mr. Michael Fulwiler here on the right mentality today. Listen, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate this conversation. I appreciate you for coming on today. talking, giving the people this information. Some stuff I knew, some stuff I didn't know, but hey, we got to get it out there, brother. I want to appreciate you. Tell the people where they can find you at. Tell them about your business. Tell them about you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. The name of my business is Fulwiler Media. And if you're listening and you work in the mental health space, maybe you're a startup founder, you're a therapist, you run a group practice, definitely look me up. I write a newsletter also for therapists. It's called Therapy Marketer. Therapymarketer.co. Sign up for that for free. And on social, I'm most active on Twitter these days. And my handle there is Michael Fulwiler, just my full name.
Yes, yes, yes. Man, listen, believe me, we're going to be in contact, okay? Because, you know, I graduated in May. So believe me, you know, I'm trying to get things moving. You know, you got a little right mentality back there. You know, got 2 degrees. I only got space for one more. Okay, that's it. Just one more. So, listen, man, I appreciate you for coming on. Good people. Always remember, keep the right mentality. I'm a tag. I'm a post. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the link. Okay. Y'all have a good day.